Gentlemen, Honorable Chief Whip, dignitaries, distinguished guests, cadets, commanders, and the management. We welcome you to the 19th Buraq Space Camp closing ceremony. Of what has been an exciting, energy filled 9-day camp, we are very pleased to have you here. My name is Rishit Kumar, and it's been my privilege to be the OC flying for the 19th Buraq Space Camp. We would begin with the recitation of the Holy Quran, followed by the national anthem.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان. والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. صدق الله العظيم.
Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I would like to invite the chairman of the Buraq Society and senior honorary advisor of OIC COMSTECH, Professor Dr. Shahid Mahmood, to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. Air Chief Marshal Sohail Aman Saab, Excellencies, the Ambassador of Kazakhstan, Yaman, Dr. Iqbal Chaudhry, Aftab Saab, proud parents, the cadets, of the 19th Space Camp. It is indeed a great honor, privilege, and a very heartfelt moment for me. One, to see Noreen make an effort, my wife, to be here to attend this. It has been a long journey. Let me share with you, those parents who are here and the commanders who know this, that Buraq started with the help of our brother Muslim countries from Central Asia. It was way back in 93 that I sent the first 3 Buraqians to Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Earlier, when the Central Asian countries had got their independence, it was under my responsibility to look after the Central Asian countries as the person responsible for the AsiaSat. This was a satellite, first ever private sector satellite that had a beam on this part of the world. And out of Hong Kong, Cable and Wireless were the owners. And because I was from Pakistan, I was given the responsibility to look after all the Central Asian states of Turkey. And one day, I was attending a meeting with the Uzbek Space Commission chairman in those days, Mr. Shavkat Vaidov. And till this time, like we have interesting times now, we're happy to have the Excellency from Yemen. These were times when everything was looked at the Soviet Union as you know, the only country in the world that needed to be looked at in a different eye. Oh, when I went to Tashkent and had these meetings, Mr. Shavkat Vaidov, Professor Shavkat Vaidov, asked me, would you like to come with me because I want to take you to the mountains of Tashkent and I want to show you something. Okay. And there I was moving around in this camp, which had houses, not camps like that. But he said, this is our space camp where we seed the thought in the younger generation on how to look at life and how to look at technology. And I was like, but where are your simulators and where are your, you know, all the wherewithal? Because before that, I had seen Huntsville, Alabama. I had been to enough Cape Canaverals and all the rocket launches of Long March in China. And he said, you don't need those things. What you need is to sow the seed of wanting to learn and understand what humanity is doing within the spheres of the galaxies. And that was so profound that I told him, I said, Dr. Shavkat, would you be kind enough to help me establish this in Pakistan? And he said, why not? So with the help of Dr. Shavkat Vaidov, Noreen, who started this whole thing with me, the journey began. We had Professor Gulnara from Kazakhstan. We had Professor Elena from Kazakhstan, the whole support of Baikonur. And today, Your Excellency, when I saw you, I shared with you, we have Buraqians in Kazakhstan also, and one of them is currently your UNESCO's ambassador. That is where the journey started, 93. As we have progressed, we have seen a lot, 32 years, COVID, and how things have transitioned. Then it was my fortune to be working with Dr. Iqbal, and I told him that what we started with the Central Asian states and the Islamic countries at that time, cadets would come from Turkey and all the Central Asian states. We need to sow the seed back, and what better place than the OIC COMSTECH, the seat for science and technology, where the Muslim world needs to now get awareness on how to tackle what will be the future. While the kids started their first camp in 94 in Murray, the task given to them in 94 was Park-based Buraq 2020. How do we explore outer space? And how do we put everything together? And I was asked that, why are you saying this? And we're fortunate that we have Air Chief Marshal Sohail Amansab here, who's put in a lot of effort behind this, that why are we talking about space when, we're not there? And I said, look, if you start thinking now, we will eventually get there. And why it is important, I can tell you today. The importance could not have been more important than where we stand today with the challenges of climate. Thanks to the help of the Air Force, they helped us motivate the kids. And today, I can share with you, and I think Air Marshal can share it much better, Air Chief Marshal. Pakistan is way up there with the Chinese, trying to get our first cosmonaut in space. The initial camps had people like Musa Menoroff, Jimmy Baker come and talk to the kids, from rocket engineering to everything. Today, we've had to up the scale and give them a tougher time. They are the first privileged batch, the 19th camp, to be here at OIC COMSTECH. And in my inaugural address to them, I told them that this is where the future challenge lies. The challenge is that one day you will be standing and teaching the kids, and life goes on. This is the cycle of life. But try and understand, and I gave them in the lecture, and I told them that try and understand where Earth is. And as it is very well known, the blue dot, that we are that tiny little dot in the galaxy. And if we are to explore, and if we are to find out more, the first thing we need to do is understand about Earth itself. We are today 8.7 billion people. We'll be another 11.2 billion people more, 11.4 billion people. These people will have to be fed, will have to be looked after, especially when out of the 9, 6 of the climate tilting points have been crossed. The temperature this year has been unbelievable, especially in certain areas of the Arctics. It has gone up by 3%, averaging at 1.5 degrees Celsius increase. The impact on the Earth is felt. Seasons have moved. Food chains have been moved. Therefore, a country like Pakistan has, in the vulnerability, is way up there. Out of the 57 Muslim states, several are in a very tricky situation when it comes to how we take climate and climate resilience. This is where technology, the understanding of technology, the understanding of space sciences will come to our rescue. From the satellites, the way they are positioned, to the UAVs, the drones, the AI data centers, the large language models, to the small language models, to the data sets that we gather about nature and Earth, process them, and do predictive modeling is the only way that we will be able to tackle and reposition ourselves with nature. This is a challenge that you, as the 19th Burakians, will be moving out today with and will be facing. I can only wish you the very best, and I would thank the parents who allowed them here, the sponsors, as well as all of those who participated in making this a success. And special thanks to Dr. Iqbal Chaudhry, who has been kind enough to allow us to host the first Buraq camp at OIC COMSTECH, so that the new seed is now put, because it needs to be a collective youth effort and a collective Muslim world effort to take on the challenges of climate that are on our doorsteps. I would thank and stop here, Dr. Iqbal, once again. The Minister of IT and Telecoms, Ms. Shiza Fatma, is very keen to address, but she's been struggling between meetings with the Prime Minister. She asked me that, can I come in, give my speech and leave? And I said, whenever you want to come in, please come speak to the kids and you can go. So in between some point, she will come. Dr. Saab, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. Now, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Mohammad Iqbal Chaudhry to say a few words. Dr. Iqbal is the Coordinator General of OIC COMSTECH, Distinguished National Professor of Bioorganic and Natural. Will be receiving the chief guest and starting momentarily. I would like to invite the chief guest, the Honorable Ms. Shaza Fatima Khwaja, Federal Minister for Information and Technology and Telecommunication, to add in a few words. Ms. Shaza Fatima is the core member of the Prime Minister's economic team. She's also a member for the National Assembly of Pakistan, MNA, for the third consecutive term. She's currently leading the country's digitization and e-governance plan, being the Federal Minister for IT and Telecom. She's also leading the country's IT export growth plan to reach the mark of USD 25 billion in the next 5 years. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Shaza Fatima Khwaja.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ambassador Aftab Ahmed Khokhar Saab, Assistant Secretary General. Assistant Secretary General, Science and Technology, OIC, Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Chaudhry, Coordinator General, OIC COMSTECH, Dr. Shahid Mahmood, Chairman, Buraq Planetary Society, Air Chief Marshal, Retired Sohail Evan, Aman Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and most of all, young cadets, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. It is absolutely a pleasure to be speaking here today. And whenever it's about speaking with youth, young girls and boys who are now taking the lead in every aspect, it's, trust me, it's pure joy. In our offices, in our boardrooms, I still feel that we have a lot of space for younger people, and it's not enough the amount that we get to interact with all of you. So whenever there's a chance, regardless of what we're doing, we try to make an effort, we try to make time to really come amongst you, because you're truly the hope that this country has moving forward. As far as the Buraq Space Camp goes, over last 3 decades or more, it has really contributed to inspiring young girls and young boys when it came to space education, when it came to really broadening your horizons towards this new world, which is beyond our planet Earth. And I trust that the program started with the first camp in Murray in 1994. And then since then, it has contributed to training and inspiring over 700 young people through the years. जब हम पढ़ते थे तो हम सुना करते थे कि स्कूल में बुराक के कैंप्स लग रहे हैं, या इवन यूनिवर्सिटी में जब हम लम्स में थे तो लगा. But unfortunately, despite being very interested, so when I was very, very young, and your imagination has no bounds. मुझसे कोई पूछता था बड़े होके क्या बनना है, तो मैं कहती थी astronaut बनना है. But then obviously reality hits and you continue to grow. But what we saw growing up was that these camps really introduced something which was not being taught by in your everyday classrooms, your schools, your education systems. और उसकी वजह से I think that I still think that there are so many disciplines and there's so many areas of research, innovation, that even till now, there's a lot of room for us to add to our education systems. और इस तरह की जो extracurriculars हैं, इस तरह के जो educational camps हैं, इस तरह की जो attempts हैं to inspire young people, they're more than welcome in our society today. And as we move forward, ये पूरी की पूरी जो हमारी lifestyle है, starting from very basics of your everyday life to your social sector, your health education, your financial sector, larger economies, and leading all the way to national security. Today, as we move towards a completely new technological paradigm, these are the sorts of education that are going to break those barriers for our young people and allow them to think beyond. और इसी के साथ साथ as we're moving towards technology, हमारे challenges भी उसके साथ साथ बदलते जाते हैं. And हमारे जो challenges हैं वो भी technology related हो रहे हैं. So as we और उनके solutions भी. So as we move, आज हम जब बात करते हैं तो हम for example climate change की बात करते हैं. Now all of that is related to how can we really involve emerging technologies for the betterment of the situation that we're in. We saw the 2022 floods, we saw the 2024 floods, and 2025 flood. It was unprecedented the way climate has changed and is causing devastation. So this is just one example of where the new technologies, geospatial studies, understanding really comes in for us to be able to come up with innovative solutions to our new challenges that we're facing today. And similarly, OIC COMSTECH is an institution that we're very proud of. This is one institution, multilateral, that Pakistan hosts. And I think it's, in today's day and age, it's probably the most important institution that Pakistan can host. Of the 57 OIC companies, when we become the principal platform, we get a lot of opportunity to navigate a lot of resources, a lot of opportunities our way. And OIC COMSTECH जैसे research में, innovation में, capacity building में काम कर रहे हैं, हमारी, I think this partnership really is, and this leadership really is a validation that how international community of all Islamic countries really trust Pakistan and really look at Pakistan as one of the leaders in the field. It also reflects very strongly our commitment to the field of science and technology, to the field of engineering, and how we can really, once again, I would say, invest in the scientists of the future. And that is going to be the core. हम जहाँ जाते हैं, you know, how we talk about Pakistan is कि हमारी सबसे बड़ी asset हमारी youth है. We are 240 million people. 68% of them are youth, which is over 150 million people. 15 करोड़ से ज़ायद लोग जो हैं हमारे मुल्क में वो नौजवान बच्चे बच्चियां हैं जो इस मुल्क को आगे लेके बढ़ रहे हैं. And that's the human resource that we talk about. But that human resource is not much without adequate training, proper navigation of your potential, and how do we channel your energies in the directions where you can actually become the true potential of the country. And that is where OIC COMSTECH comes in, that is where Buraq comes in, that is where we come in as the government of Pakistan to see how can we invest more in you. And Prime Minister साहब के साथ भी, शहबाज शरीफ साहब के साथ भी हमारी बड़ी रेगुलर एक मीटिंग है जो बहुत रेगुलर होती है, and that's productive employability. And he sits all of us relevant ministries across the table and asks us कि आपने productive employability के लिए क्या किया young बच्चों. So the conversation now has changed from training to employability. So होता क्या है कि जब हम 1000 बच्चा ट्रेन करते हैं उनमें से 600-700 ट्रेनिंग मुकम्मल करता है, कुछ ड्रॉप आउट्स होते हैं, कुछ टिक नहीं पाते, फिर हम आगे जाते हैं तो उनमें से भी कोई 50%, 40%, 30% जो है वो employability की तरफ जाते हैं. So what we saw was that we were wasting a lot of potential through this process. तो हमने प्राइम साहब ने हमारे KPIs बदल. So now the question is that how many people have you been able to employ and not how many people have you been able to train. So employability की KPI पे जब हम गए, so the whole conversation shifted. So every month now we have to tell how many people were we able to train in a way that they were employed, and that really changes the whole way the system works. Because अब जब हम budgeting देखते हैं, investment देखते हैं, सारी चीजें देखते हैं, या जो हम publicly fund करते हैं trainings बच्चों के लिए, उनकी पेमेंट्स भी डिपेंड करती हैं एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी के ऊपर. सो 2 SOPs. One is what is the ratio of employability of your graduates, and the second is the international certification हमने mandatory कर दी because वो थोड़ा सा internal transparency और to improve the quality of trainings that we were imparting through the public funds. तो उसकी transparency बेहतर करने के लिए. So this is how, you know, और फिर जब उस आखिरी बात जो मैं जरूरी बताना चाह रही थी कि जब भी हम इसकी बात करते हैं तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर जरूर प्लानिंग डिवीजन को, which is already investing a lot in young people, and also finance division, तो उनको बुलाते हैं और उनको हर दफा कहते हैं कि बाकी सब चीजें आप जब बजटिंग करते हैं तो अपने एक्सपेंडिचर में काउंट किया करें, the salaries, the debt payments, and everything of that sort. But when I talk to you about young people and spending on young people, we will scrape the last end of the barrel to invest every penny. And this is not something that you will call expenditure. This is investment. And this investment essentially has the highest return that we can see compared to any other investment that we would make with public money. So investing in young people is a core foundation. At Ministry of IT and Telecom, we've trained over the last almost 2 years now that we've been in office, over 500,000 young people in all sorts of training. So some of them are low tech, जिसमें आपकी graphic designers, freelancers की trainings आती हैं. Some of them are high tech, blockchain, Web3, AI, coding, all of that. Cloud computing पे अब बहुत ज़्यादा there's focus, cyber security पे बहुत ज़्यादा focus है. And then, we try to also ensure that we push some soft skills into our training so that, com skills become better, your basic entrepreneurial skills become better. वो सारी चीजें भी are equally important as we train our young people. So collectively, we've trained over 500,000 young people for the last year and a half. Is saal bhi, by the end of the financial year, we will have trained almost 1 million people as we move on. So that's some of the investment that the ministry is making. But हमारा जो core focus है, that is more towards the whole digital transformation of the country. And उसमें भी we're partnering with COMSTECH. हमारा climate stack जो है वो COMSTECH के साथ बनेगा. But digital transformation है क्या? Digital transformation is essentially that we have actually started rolling out digital identities. आप दुनिया में किसी मुल्क में जाते हैं, वहां पे आप देखते हैं, आप यूएई जाते हैं, वहां पे रेजिडेंट्स के लिए यूएई पास है. आप सिंगापुर जाते हैं, वहां पे सिंग पास है. So the idea is that all of your, from cradle to grave, all your documentation has verified identities which are stored in your digital vaults, and not कि आप शनाख्ती कार्ड की फोटोकॉपी करा के लाएं, फिर उसको 70वें ग्रेड के अफसर से अटेस्ट करवाएं, फिर उसको नोटरी पब्लिक की स्टैंप लगवाएं, फिर जाके कोई मानेगा कि आपका शनाख्ती कार्ड है, या आपकी पासपोर्ट की कॉपी है, या आपकी डिग्रीज की वेरिफिकेशन है. All of that will become verified digital identities. उसको हम ब्लॉकचेन पे भी मूव कर रहे हैं. आपकी डिग्रीज, अटेस्टेशंस, वो सारी चीजें भी ब्लॉकचेन पे जा रही हैं, so that now you just have to unlock your phone and you show your verified degrees with a click of a button. You send them to your relevant departments, wherever you want to send them, and they are accepted as original documents. So that's one part of what we're doing. And moving on, your health data, your education data, hopefully you buy a house, your property documents, your vehicle documents, everything becomes a part of your digital identity. And then on the other side of national digital transformation is how you interact with the government. So हम पूरी जो हमारी government services हैं, उनके लिए super app on a click of a button. आज भी if you want like to renew your passport, you want like to अपनी police verification करानी है, आपको कोई document मंगवाना है. I know that some of the provinces are ahead than others, but federal में Islamabad में हमने through our PAC app, we've made all of that digital. We've also now made an Asan Khidmat Center, which is a one-stop shop for all this government business that we do. But essentially, we want to make the government contactless. जहाँ पे contact होता है, वहाँ पे problem आती है, वहाँ पे attitude की भी problem आती है, वहाँ पे जगह-जगह आपको red tapeism भी मिलता है, efficiency issues हैं, transparency issues हैं. So in order to avoid all of that, we're moving towards a more digitized governance where you don't really have to interact with people. You do all your payments, all your processes through your mobile phones or your laptops, and your through this, and you go through the system. So that's one part of what we're doing. And the other part is export, which is not really relevant right now, but just for your knowledge, we've been breaking barriers every month. We've crossed about $3.8 billion of exports this year, growing at an average of 20%, which is pretty good for where we are. एक चीज before I come back to your trainings and science and technology, one question that everybody wants to ask is about the internet and how we're going to make it cheaper, better, and accessible to everyone across the country. वो लोग भी जो हमसे बहुत दूर रहते हैं, शहरों में नहीं रहते हैं, पहाड़ों में रहते हैं, सहराओं में रहते हैं, गाँव में रहते हैं, तो उन सब के लिए how can we ensure that we have like ubiquitous high-speed, reliable internet services? Some good news that I also mentioned in the news a couple of days back कि हमारी cabinet ने जो spectrum auction है उसकी ratification कर दी है, which essentially means that next month we will have a spectrum auction. Right now we operate on a very low spectrum. हम spectrum starved country हैं, पूरे region में सबसे कम spectrum है पाकिस्तान के पास. We have about 274 megahertz of spectrum. I always compare us to Bangladesh, which is 2/3 of our population, but has 600 megahertz of spectrum. So essentially, the roadway through which your internet's traveling is choked, the traffic's jammed, and we need to really increase those lanes and for better internet service. And that's exactly what's being done. You operate on 274 megahertz right now. We will be auctioning about 600 megahertz next month. Usme we are hoping that even if things are going to be better, but even if half of that goes out into auction, we will be, doubling our capacity of internet, and not just your 4G speed will at least double. We're actually putting obligations to treble it, but at least double. But also 5G will be introduced in KLI, all 4 capitals, and Islamabad in the first year. So within the next few months, hopefully by June, you should be having a much wider access of internet. Already the household survey that has come out for Pakistan Bureau of Statistics shows that about 70% of people now have access to internet. But that 30% is also as critical for us as anyone else, because today in the intelligent age, so now we're beyond the digital age, we've gone into the intelligent age where AI really dominates our lives. Today in the intelligent age, if we even leave one person behind, catching up becomes impossible. So we have to make sure that everybody goes along, because the change of pace of technological advancement has become exponential. आज एक बंदा जो पहले एक काम करता था उसकी productivity 10x छोड़ के 100x हो गई है. On a click of a button, you use all these LLMs and the chat GPTs and llamas and Geminis, and you have answers to anything that you can think of. So how do we make sure that productivity gain is not just reserved for a few privileged people? That is something that we need to work on and make sure that that's the kind of access to internet, which is essential now also access to health, access to education, and your growth and development generally. So we have to make sure that every single one of us has it, and that's something that we're trying to work on. So ek to ye ho gaya. Dusra, I think coming back to the point, when you get to trainings like these, I'm sure that this is something that really changes your perspective around how the universe works. Mujhe to whenever I, I'm generally quite interested in astronomy and space, and it really fascinates me the way the universe and the systems work. And, it really makes you think about your own existence and your own significance in the larger scheme of things. When you zoom out and you see how the system at large operates. और आप realize करते हैं कि आप you're just a speck in the larger system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala runs for you, and how you really आपकी जो trivial issues हैं जिनको आप life and death situation समझते हैं, they really fall into perspective. And that's the kind of understanding that astronomy and space sciences really gives me, and really puts me, back in my place whenever you think that you're very important or your challenges are bigger than the universe. So that's something that's very important. But otherwise, I think that these trainings that you get, these opportunities that you get, really put you in a position of privilege. And the next question would be that what are we going to do with these privileges that we have today? How are we going to make use of it? How are we going to make sure that those less privileged benefit from it? Or आज तो education फैलाना बढ़ाना is not difficult anymore. Even if you teach, one more person, 5 more people about what you learned, the growth can really be exponential. Your learning can really grow beyond you, beyond yourself. And that's the kind of support that we also need. With our population growth that we have, which is also something that we need to talk about, it is going to be incredibly important for the privileged few of us to really share the education that we have, to really pass on the knowledge that we have. And that only increases your own knowledge. I used to teach at LUMS for about 6 years. And I have to tell you that I learned more in those 6 years by teaching students than what I did by learning of the 16 years of my education. Because that really provokes your thought process. आपको जो questions आते हैं, जब कोई और आपसे उस चीज के बारे में different perspective से सवाल पूछता है, that really forces you to think in a certain way. And that is something which is very critical. So you have to pass your knowledge on your friends, to people around you. Today, the country, I would say, needs you more than ever. हम बात करते हैं Gen Z की, Gen Alpha की. For me, you will be the saviors of the country. We've stabilized the economy. We're trying to grow it. We're trying to make the economic growth sustainable. We're trying to invest in the right kind of things. National AI policy pass ho gayi. We're investing on its infrastructure, ताकि compute power आपको available हो, the right kind of clouds services you have available, when you have to work. और उस तरह की पूरी environment की foundations तो हम रख रहे हैं. But moving forward, it's not going to be, you're going to look back and it's going to feel like days when you're in your practical lives, and you will be leading the country very soon. And that's where, all of you young people really come in, and that's where you will be stepping up. Last thing that I would like to say is that just take ownership of the country. Because जब आप एक किसी चीज की ownership लेते हैं, that's when you take care of it. That's when you want to really do something for it. हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा सवाल करते हैं कि पाकिस्तान ने हमें क्या दिया. What we don't realize is that this country really, essentially, has given everything that we are today. हमारी एक आम शख्स के लिए इस मुल्क की medical services, इस मुल्क में education, we can question the quality, we can talk about that, improve that. But essentially, it really gives us everything that we are today. हमारी सारी public universities that actually produce award-winning scientists are all subsidized. हमारे medical schools सारे subsidized हैं. We create professionals जो कि बिल्कुल minimum fee, minimum cost पे graduate करते हैं. So this country is all we have. This country gives us our identity. And in the last 1 year, we've seen that, especially after winning the war of Marka-e-Haq, our international status has gone beyond what we've seen anything in the last many, many decades. And what puts us in that position, and what makes us relevant today in the age of economic warfare and now also conventional warfare, is also the kind of military strength. And why is it that important for you to know? Because all that goes behind it is science and technology, is innovation. That's what puts us at the front of everybody that are of our peers, essentially, and makes us a regional power in the world. So behind all of this success, behind what makes us strong today, what makes us important today is essentially the technological innovation, our scientists that have worked years and years to give us this might that we have. और उसमें हमारी मिलिट्री माइट भी है और उसमें हमारी साइबर सिक्योरिटी की भी है, हमारी टेक्नोलॉजिकल भी है. हमने जो जंग लड़ी उसमें हमने देखा कि cyber security and technology was as important, if not more, to our conventional warfare. And there was a lot of role of satellites and spatial science, I would say, that came into play. And that is what the future is going to be about. As the internet also goes through satellites now, LEO satellites, regulations, hopefully we'll have satellite internet very soon coming in this year. But everything's moving towards a spatial dimension. हम अपनी climate stack की बात करते हैं जो हमने OIC के साथ बनानी है, उसकी भी पूरी एक geospatial dimension है, जिसमें हमें हमारा पूरा एक सर जनरल का ऑफिस है, हमारे प्राइवेट सेक्टर के बच्चे हैं जिसके ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं, but it is all geospatial research जिसके ऊपर जो है हमारा climate stack इस वक्त बन रहा है. So all of these things, put together, I would say that this August house today that I'm addressing, all of you, especially young girls and boys, who've gotten this exposure today, that is something that you should build on. This is the future of the world. This is the future of jobs. Conventional jobs, मैं सबको बताती हूँ, are going to become very difficult to retain. But it's not going to be computers that are going to replace you. It's going to be people who know the right technologies, who know the right skills that may actually replace all of us. So how do we keep ourselves updated is absolutely critical. अपने spare time में छोटी-छोटी certifications करें. I wouldn't say degrees have become redundant, but certifications have become very, very. Skills, actual hands-on skills have become very, very important. That's what you should really be aiming for, going for. And आज हमारे बच्चे जो मैट्रिक करके पास होते हैं, FSC करके पास होते हैं, without going to universities, are माशाल्लाह freelancing हमारी 91% increase थी. पिछले साल they earned about $400 million. This year they did about $791 million of exports. All these freelancers that sit across the country, young kids sitting in their homes, doing work, for people abroad, getting in dollars. Brilliant, brilliant human resource that we have. But the only difference is that they take initiative. मैं क्यों नहीं करती और वो बच्चा क्यों करता है? Because that kid has taken an initiative. That kid has learned something extra that I did not know. That kid had the courage to make an account online on a freelancer, probably platform, or look for a remote job. And that kid today sits and earns much more than what I would be earning and contributes much more than what I would be contributing for the country. So the key difference is initiative. You guys have gotten the exposure that you require. The next step is the initiative that you take. You take the initiative, you move forward, you own the country, you make it a mission to do something for Pakistan, and this country will surprise you in ways that you've never even thought of. And moving forward, मैं सबको कहती हूँ, I'm the youngest member in the cabinet, but I tell everybody that Pakistan की 70% लोग मेरे से छोटे. So that's the kind of young, powerful workforce that we have behind us. And that's what gives us hope as well. And that's what we're working on to make sure that the country succeeds and not only stays at pace, but also grows at an exponential level and becomes not just a regional, but a global leader when it comes to science and technology. Thank you very much for being here. I just want to apologize that I will have to immediately leave because all of a sudden a meeting with the Prime Minister came up, which is at 11:45. But I would have loved to interact more with you. Hopefully, some other chance we will get to have some question answers and have a better interaction. Thank you for being here and good luck for your future.
Thank you, Ms. Shraddha. We would like to request Ms. Shraddha to receive a token of appreciation, and we request Dr. Shahid Mahmood and Coordinator General OIC COMSTECH to present this token. Now, I would like to invite the guest of honor, Ambassador Aftab Ahmed Khokhar, to give an address to the audience. Ambassador Khokhar is the Assistant Secretary General, Science and Technology, OICGS, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My dear friend, the Honorable Foreign General COMSTECH Professor Iqbal Chaudhry, distinguished participants, excellencies, instructors, and dear guests, it is a privilege for me to join today at this closing ceremony of the 19th Buraq Space Camp. This occasion marks not just the end of a training program, but a celebration of curiosity, learning, and the remarkable potential of our youth across the OIC area, and particularly in Pakistan. I extend my sincere appreciation to the organizers, trainers, and partners who have made this inspiring initiative possible. And I congratulate each participant on completing this remarkable journey into the world of space science. The Buraq Space Camp traditionally embodies a vital message. The future of science, technology, and innovation in the Muslim world depends on our investment in young people. As the global space sector rapidly evolves, impacting communication, navigation, disaster management, climate monitoring, and economic development, it is critically important to keep engaging young people, equipping them with knowledge and inspiring them to pursue ambitious goals. This commitment is central to the mission of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, representing 57 Muslim countries. As for the 19th Buraq Space Camp, I believe that your dedication and enthusiasm throughout this camp have been truly inspiring. Over the past days, you have engaged in hands-on activities, interactive workshops, and collaborative projects that I am certain have challenged you to think creatively and work as a team. The friendships you have formed and the skills you have gained here will serve as a solid foundation for your future pursuits in the realms of science and technology, particularly relating to space. Dear participants of the camp, space science is no longer the domain of a few advanced nations. It has become an essential tool for sustainable development and resilience, especially for developing countries. We live in an era where satellites advance in helping us predict weather patterns, manage water resources, monitor crops, respond to natural disasters, and understand the changing climate of our planet. For many OIC member states facing environmental and development challenges, space-based technologies and solutions offer practical and science-driven solutions. Your participation reflects courage and curiosity. That is the foundation of scientific progress. Whether you become scientists, engineers, policymakers, or educators, the lesson learned you have learned here will remain with you forever and guide you, your inspiration. The OIC is committed to empowering youth through science and technology, drawing inspiration from our rich and glorious scientific heritage. Our responsibility is to revive the scientific potential of Islamic nations, leveraging modern tools and global collaboration to address modern-day challenges. Initiatives like the Buraq Space Camp align with the OIC's vision to promote science, technology, and innovation as drivers of sustainable development. Through institutions such as COMSTECH, we are dedicated to capacity building, fostering collaboration, and providing platforms for young people to access knowledge, mentorship, and opportunity. As this camp concludes, I encourage you to view it as a beginning of a lifelong journey through the realm of knowledge and scientific inspiration. Let this experience motivate you to pursue further learning in science, technology, and engineering. The challenges ahead are complex and complicated, but they do present opportunities for those who are equipped with knowledge and vision. The OIC envisions a future where the Muslim youth are not only users of advanced technology, but creators and innovators. In closing, I once again congratulate all the participants of the Buraq Space Camp on your achievements. I commend the organizers and partners for their foresight and dedication, and I reaffirm the Organization of Islamic Cooperation's commitment to supporting initiatives that empower youth through science and innovation. May this experience inspire you to aim higher, think deeply, and work together for a better future. At the end, let me once again compliment the Coordinator General, Professor Iqbal Chaudhry, and Professor Dr. Shahid Mahmood, Chairman of Buraq Society, for their tireless efforts to promote OIC's vision and agenda. And this space camp is one manifestation of that commitment. I thank you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Chaudhry to say a few words. Dr. Iqbal is the Coordinator General of OIC COMSTECH, Distinguished National Professor of Bioorganic and Natural Product Chemistry, and Senior Honorary Advisor at the International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences. He's also serving as the Vice President, Central and South Asia for the World Academy of Sciences since 2022. His scientific and capacity building contributions have been recognized by prestigious national and international awards and honors, and fellowships of several academies of science. Mr. Chaudhary has over 1,500 publications. Impact factor of publications is over 4,000. Citations 49,680. H index 89. I-10 index 1051 in the fields of organic and bioorganic chemistry, along with 94 patents, 64 US patents, 94 books, and 40 chapters in book, published by major US and European. On the basis of his researches, over 110 students have been awarded PhD degrees in various areas of natural products and bioorganic chemistry. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Chaudhry.
Can you hear me? I can't hear myself. It's all right? Okay. Mic idhar hai. Okay. Thank you very much, Excellency Ambassador Aftab Kuka, my dear brother, Assistant Secretary General, Science, Technology, Health, Climate, Higher Education in OIC, Jeddah. My dear brother, Professor Dr. Shahid Mahmood, Chairman of Buraq Society, and our colleague at COMSTECH. We have ambassadors, dear brother, His Excellency Muhammad Fatahir, Ambassador of Yemen, His Excellency dear brother Yazan Kursafin, Ambassador of Kazakhstan, Deputy Head of Mission of Azerbaijan, Air Marshal Suhail Aman Sahab, Noreen Bhabi, बहुत शुक्रिया आपका तशरीफ लाई Hadia Usman, Base Commander, Mr. Usman Yusuf, all of you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You see, I have written a speech of about 4 pages, which is perhaps not suitable at this time that I read it out all, but I want you to kindly celebrate of many things which we have. For instance, you are part of a very large community of 2.6 billion Muslims spread all over the world. You know, 1.9 billion of them are in 57 OIC member states. Celebrate that this vast majority of population lives from South America, from Suriname and Guyana, and if you take a flight from there all the way to the extreme end of Muslim land, unbroken till East Timor and Papua of Indonesia, that is going to be the longest flight ever in the history of humanity. You know, so vast land of Muslims from one end to the other. Celebrate that you are among the most privileged one to get the opportunity of being part of this very prestigious camp. Think of it that you have been selected, I'm sure that from thousands of students who wanted to be part of it, but you brilliant, bright, beautiful children representing the youth of Muslims are here in this 19th Buraq Space Camp. Celebrate that you have the mentorship of one of the finest individuals I ever met in my life. And I keep saying this with an absolute honesty that he brings logic, he brings perseverance, commitment, sincerity of purpose, and most importantly, out of the box thinking. Celebrate that you are among the finest and brightest individuals we have. Also celebrate that you're going to have a very productive life of about 100 years and over. Let me assure you that if that majority of you, perhaps all of you, will celebrate your 100th birthday, okay, while you're still working. Let me assure you the way the life expectancy is increasing, the way things are moving in terms of longevity, that you would have 100 years of life. But there are threats around these facts as well. Think that what you learn today is going to be redundant, obsolete, and perhaps become dangerous in next 10 years. That you have to unlearn and relearn. If we don't do that, the acquired knowledge would be as dangerous as it can become. You need to relearn. At least 4 times, you have to change your fields, not profession, not your job, fields. So what remain is more important is your flexibility, your soft skills, and most importantly, emotional stability. Today, if I have to go from one place to the other, I feel stressed. If I have to change from one city to the other, if I need to deliver a lecture from one place to the other, I'm stressed. You would be changing your fields. The technological development are going to be absolutely the mind-boggling, stranger than fictions. You know, think of life which is changing this to the speed which you cannot even envision. At that point of time, your emotional stability is going to be more important than anything else. You are the first generation of human race who would witness the changes of an absolutely unprecedented magnitude. You are the only generation of human race who would have technologies going out of control, who would see tools becoming agents, who would see machines become autonomous, who would see machine replacing your skills and your job. You would have tremendous pressures and tremendous stress. And at this point of time, you need to be very, very strong, you know. You need to make sure that you remain on top of technologies, on top of knowledge, and you need to make sure that you remain relevant to yourself, humanity at large, and to the world. See, what we are trying to do in COMSTECH, under the patronage of Professor Dr. Shahid Mahmood, that we are trying to design our program around the youth. And one example is that you have among you the young leaders from different countries. And let me introduce you to some of them. Akim from Benin, Rakif from Bangladesh, Fatima from Niger, Zain from Mauritania, Umar from Gambia. And then I see some of them are not here, but from Senegal, from Somalia, and other countries. So they are part of a larger community of young people, the young Muslims, who will have great challenges, but at the same time, great opportunities. And among those programs which we have launched, I want to tell you that we have discussed with Excellency, the Ambassador of Kazakhstan, these space food camps and summer schools and other OICs. We need to expand it. We need to take it beyond it. 700 of you, including this 19th batch of Iraqians, many of you would be resourceful. You would be the leaders who would lead many of these initiatives and go to the other countries to make sure that your fellow young people in the Western member states learn from what we have to be able to learn. We are planning to have satellite simulation, challenges, and competition. We intend to have virtual classroom and e-learning platforms, space innovation hackathon, space storytelling and media campaign, and many other things, including a space exhibition, which we are planning to organize early next year. The sky is the limit. You need to guide us. You are better placed. You are now better informed. You need to tell us what needs to be done for future. Our thinking, our thoughts are often redundant, obsolete, not with the pace which you have learned. And this is the reason that we would like to today formally give you leadership, and you need to accept it. I would like to thank again Professor Dr. Shahid Mahmood for continuing this great mission, not only for Pakistan, but for the other OIC member states also, and for being so absolutely brainy that we often look towards him for guidance. Thank you, commanders of the base camp, all of you being part of this very exciting experience. And thank you very much for all of you who came and attended this ceremony. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Iqbal. Now, I would like to invite the base commander of the 19th Buraq Space Camp 2025, Ms. Hadia Osman, to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Hadia Osman, and thank you, OC Flying, for the introduction. I'll just start by saying that for the past few minutes, I've been looking around and I'm a little bit speechless. I don't do much public speaking. The last time I addressed a crowd more than a classroom was probably about a year ago. And I can't tell you what it looks like from my eyes. You get a glimpse up there, but it's difficult to put into words. This is my third time at Buraq as a commander. I started as personnel and worked my way up to the base commander this year, and I got to run this camp, which was a tremendous honor. But before all that, in 2012, it was my family and it was fun. So I used to come and it used to just be watching the rockets and watching people build bridges and talking to cadets and playing football with them at break time, and it was just fun. And then it stopped, and when Buraq restarted, I was the same age as the cadets. And I got to come back in an active role and be part of it. And my whole idea of Buraq changed. It wasn't vacation and fun and winter break and football in the garden. It was transformation and life lessons. Because it's not just about content, right? We do cover content, physics, finance, and everything in between. But that's not the important thing. It's the lessons you learned, and it's about the mindset. Everyone will have a different kind of key takeaway, but I'd say mine is time and how precious your time is. I think at the end of every camp, I get that reminder that not just that time is precious and you don't get it back and you have to be on time and respect people's time, which we have talked very extensively about with the cadets, but also the fact that there are so many hours in a day, and I feel like you forget in daily life. And I feel like you think you're busy when you're a student, but then you come to Buraq and you wake up at 6 a.m. and you're busy till 10 and longer for us commanders who would stay up past your lights out and prepare for the next day. And every year, it's just a reminder that you have so many minutes and so much time, and you waste it more than you think. So especially this next few weeks, I will be very mindful of every hour of the day and how I'm spending it to my fullest potential. Every batch has something special about them and something that is a characteristic. Last year, they all got sick. This year, I would say that these guys ask more questions than I knew existed. Sir Usman tried to give a lecture on time management and got to the introduction slide. And for 2 hours, he had a Q&A, unplanned. Everything, where he went to school, nature versus nurture, the state of the economy, everything. And they just want to know, and they ask so many questions that most of the lectures would be an introduction, 10 minutes, the speaker would talk about their background, what they know, and then they would ask, what do you want to know? And these kids could easily fill in 45 minutes and still chase the lecturer to the lunchroom to know more, until we had to sometimes rescue them and help them get out. But yeah, these guys have a lot of questions, and some of them, most of them were really good. And it was nice to see that they were engaging and they were using the opportunity to meet these people and learn. So when I think about this for us, obviously, you guys are very lucky with the rooms and your heaters and all of that. But I remember you for the questions you asked and how much you engaged with people throughout the camp. Other than that, there are lessons about time management, discipline, respecting people, passion, looking for different opportunities. And I hope for the parents, you get to see that when they go home and they tell you about what they've learned. And I hope there's something positive, because that is my favorite part of Buraq, is seeing people walk in one day and they are one person and then they leave another. We were talking about this in the command room the other day. There's one person in particular I always think about. He came in the first day, he had the biggest beanie I've ever seen. His entire face was covered with a scarf. He had the biggest jacket and he was shaking, but it wasn't the cold. He was so scared. And this is back in 2023. On the last day, he challenged our STEM leader to a breakdance contest. Completely different kid. And that's obviously one that you see once in a while, but I'm sure there'll be something that you'll see and something they'll take away. And for every one of them, it'll be different. But I hope they tell you about it, their parents and their guardians, and that they value this experience and they come back and they learn about giving back and all those different things that we have been drilling into them for the past week and a half. Thank you so much, all of you. I'm conscious that it's lunch soon, so I'm going to keep mine short. I'm sure some of you want to eat. Maybe some of the parents want to see their cadets. But other than that, it has been a complete honor being your base commander, and I have loved every second of it.
Thank you, Base Commander. Now, I would like to invite the Vice Chairman of Buraq Society, Mr. Usman Yusuf.
Okay, just trying to make sure. I think we've gotten off schedule just a little bit. So we want to show you a video that we made to help the cadets recollect hopefully some of their fondest memories, but also for the parents in the room and all our guests to get a little bit of a feeler for what we do here. But I suppose before we do that, I wanted to also chime in. And I don't have a lot to talk about. I just want to talk about 4 quick points. One is about intentions. The next is about efforts and outcomes. And the last thing is about persistence. My experience in life has been, and I've shared this with the cadets, that if you intend for good and you intend for making an impact, a positive impact in the lives of people around you, that the universe conspires and Allah supports you and things happen for the good. And I've told these cadets, and I want to remind them that if there's one thing you take away from this camp experience, is that you need to make a good intention about the future, about your futures and the futures of your families, your communities, your country, and the world. And then the intention isn't enough. There has to be effort behind that intention. And the effort needs to be sincere. And sincerity can't be faked. I said this to you this morning. So be sincere in your intention. And always remember, the outcome is not up to you. Only the effort is. And you will fail, and we've told you about failure, but it's not failure that counts, it's persistence. So make the right intention, make efforts towards that intention, and let the chips fall where they may. And hopefully good outcomes will happen. But if they don't, then the payback is the journey itself, not the end. And when you're hit and when you're down, you must persist. And we've shown you examples of many people, many of them who are here in the audience as well, who've spoken to you. And the themes have repeated themselves. And I told you this morning as well that what I took away as a Buraqian, I came in 1999. I was a 15-year-old boy at that time. The main thing I took away from Buraq is not the lessons I learned or the theory or about space and about science and technology. I had a love for that. That love went maybe 5x or 10x. But how I felt at the end of that experience, a bond, a unity, hope, and optimism. But I hope that we've been able to inculcate that in you and all of you as well. So I think that's all really that I wanted to say. I also want to make sure, because we'll have a small vote of thanks at the end, and I'm sure Anushe, who is the Secretary General of Buraq, this society, who took the mantle from her mother, Noreen, who's in the audience as well, kind of really runs the show behind the scenes. And I'm sure she'll come up and she'll thank everybody, but maybe nobody will thank her. So I really wanted to take this opportunity to thank her for all the great things that she does. The running joke in the family is that she works for 95% of the time, and then I come up on stage and I give a speech. So, we recognize all the efforts that you make. And obviously, Dr. Shahid and Noreen, my mother-in-law, who started this camp, of course, they're really the inspiration behind all of this. So really grateful for all the efforts that they've made. And cadets, thank you. Thank you for your energy, for your enthusiasm. Low-key, this started a little rough, and we thought we were all cooked. And some people dipped, but you persevered. And I'm glad you all made it. With that, I think is my cue to play the video. Is someone going to help me with this?
Rock your body, yeah. Everybody, yeah. Rock your body right. Back streets back, alright. Hey, now, oh my God, we're back again. Brothers, sisters, everybody say. Gonna bring the flame, I'll show you how.
one thing we learn from the lectures and from the mentors, amazing, great minds, it really broadened our horizon to the different aspects of life. And I feel like from that we have a sense of responsibility to carry that and give out that information to others as well.
Hello everyone, we're Squad 9, the residents. And what Buraq taught us about teamwork is how to maintain healthy social dynamics as well as team dynamics. What we try to do as squad mates is try to retain our individuality and not diminish each other. And what we try to do is yet collaborate together. And that's what helps us to be a good functional squad.
We all have our strengths and we don't shy away from the fact that we also have our weaknesses. To work effectively as a team, we can't ignore the fact that some person might have a shortcoming in a certain area. So another person's skill set might not be the same as another. And we use that to work together to fill in these gaps.
For me, the most important thing I learned was the art of showing up, whether it's to wake up someone like Noor or to show up on time in class.
On a very serious note, it made me realize the importance of companionship, on how these people are going to be with me for most of my life and how they'll help me in my social and professional life.
The biggest challenge we've faced so far is waking up at 5 a.m. How did we solve it?
We solved it by setting multiple very annoying alarms, such as mine, which was on accident, but it blares loudly, and Marwa is not the biggest fan of that.
And it ended up working because most of the time alarms don't work. It ended up working because I have slight issues when you try to wake me up, and if your alarm is blaring and you don't turn it off, I will literally throw you off the bed.
Coming to Buraq, I was expecting lectures, I was expecting learning, but I did not realize how many subjects we'll actually touch, and I did not realize how those subjects will impact me because I did not know that they will interest me. And it's gotten me to think that there's so many aspects of life that I want to learn more about, and I want to keep learning about those little topics that we've discussed over the lectures.
Buraq was a truly unique and pivotal experience for all of us. It really helped us to change our mindset and how we think. Personally, for me, it was that nothing is really impossible, and 24 hours is more than enough time to do anything that you put your mind to.
I think Buraq has helped me stop taking criticism so personally and stop inflicting it upon myself. So I think this is the first step of enlightenment and not, caring so much.
Don't be afraid, don't have no fear. I'm gonna tell the world, make it understand. As long as there be music, we'll be coming back again.
Okay, so in the school year, we are assigned a project and we work with a team, but usually one person's sleeping, the other person is just there for the vibes. So we learned that, I learned and we all learned together that, we did meet on Monday and we weren't like sure about each other. We're like, how is this going to go? But throughout Buraq, we collaborated, we did some teamwork, and we got to a common ground, and we learned how to communicate effectively. Yeah, that's something that schools don't really teach. They just give you an assignment and then judge you upon that, but Buraq really teaches you that.
For me, I would personally remember the point where we were running late for the lectures or activities. There would be like a minute left and one of us wouldn't have our name tag or our jacket, and we'd be sprinting down the hallway with the panic. For me personally, the panic and fear is something that I'll remember for a lot of years.
I think I'll also remember the panic, but also the way we learned from it. Like, I feel like we had a meeting and we had like some confrontations about what we were doing wrong and what we think we should do. And we really adapted to that and learned from that. And I think that's really valuable, considering in Pakistan you don't see a lot of programs that help you realize that you have to work together a lot.
I thought I saw your face today, but I just turned my head away, your face against the trees. But I just see the memories as they come, as they come. And I couldn't help but fall in love again. No, I couldn't help but fall in love again. I saw it glitter as I grew and loved it. Why I never knew. I thought this place was heaven sent, but now it's.
We are the 67ers, and we've been here at Buraq for some time, and the thing that I'd like to continue further from here is the ability and power to take initiative and take important decisions.
And we each have our answer of our own. So for me, I would say to my past self, be smart.
Okay, what I would tell myself before coming to Buraq would be to probably be ready. Another thing that I would tell myself is to keep an intention of learning. Like, we shouldn't be arrogant that we're the best, we got selected. We should have an intention of learning, that we're here to learn and have discipline.
It's just a monument in my mind, in my mind. And I couldn't help but fall in love again. No, I couldn't help but fall in love again. The cars and freeways implore me to stay away out of this place. My mother said, just keep your head and play.
From its inception, Buraq has always been about fostering innovation, creating the next generation of leaders, and for Pakistan to prosper in science and technology. This year, we've found a beautiful synergy with OIC COMSTECH that shares our values and our vision for not just Pakistan, but for the OIC countries. We hope that this year's Buraqians can then go on to collaborate with OIC countries, visit them and have an exchange program set up with their students coming to us, so that together we can lift not only Pakistan, but the OIC countries together. Leadership in science and technology has always been at the very heart of what we do. And we hope that the kids that have come out of this camp, the cadets who will hopefully have become Buraqians, can lead us forward and create a more prosperous future for all of us.
The 19th Buraq Space Camp delivered an 8-day intensive journey of learning and exploration. Cadets engaged in expert-led sessions, hands-on missions, squad-based challenges, and a range of other activities. We hope that the cadets, as Buraqians, now Buraqians, as they watch this video, took away valuable lessons and will carry them forward by applying them in their daily lives.
A special thank you to the OIC COMSTECH team for helping us and hosting us this year. Thank you to the parents for trusting us with your children, to the alumni who gave us their time and sponsored some of our cadets, and to the command and the students for making this camp successful. Thank you all.
बुराक कैंप जो कि मैं इसकी लॉजिस्टिक सपोर्ट और फूड और बच्चों के पिक एंड ड्रॉप उसको मतलब मुकम्मल तौर पे हम देख रहे हैं और पिछले ये मेरा 11वां कैंप है ये सपोर्ट में अब चाह रहा हूँ। माशाल्लाह बहुत प्यारे किड्स आते हैं, बहुत रौनक होती है, हमारे लिए बहुत ज़्यादा एक इन्जॉयमेंट भी होती है और हम देखते हैं कि बच्चे कैसे इन्जॉय कर रहे हैं। तो इनका माशाल्लाह ये एक बहुत अच्छा इवेंट है, बड़ा एजुकेटिव है, बड़ी मेहनत से बच्चे करते हैं अपने काम फील्ड एरिया में भी और इन साइड भी, और मैनेजमेंट भी है उनको फुल सपोर्ट देती है। इट्स अ वेरी वेरी गुड लर्निंग बेस। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Hello everyone, my name is Ammar Mehdi. I am the STEM leader at Buraq Space Camp. So I have been a part of Buraq for many years, but this was the first year that we started Buraq Research and Development R&D Lab. As part of Buraq R&D Lab, we not only revised our existing STEM offerings and activities, but we also came up with some new STEM activities that we conducted as a team. And now my team members are going to tell you about their experience and what they did at Buraq this year.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Mohammed Umar Farooq. So it was my first time being given this much responsibility. We had to manage, refine, conduct and help cadets out with all of these different activities, including telescope building, bridge building, circuits, and some others that my fellow R&D specialist will tell you about.
I'm Fatma Mehdi, and I also helped out with all of the STEM activities this year, but I personally conducted the Lego Mindstorm activity, which was an activity which used to happen in Buraq in the past, but we recently brought it back up. And I was really scared that the cadets weren't gonna able to figure out and the activity won't go well, but to my surprise, everyone was able to figure out half of it, and they were having fun, which was the best part of it. That's about it.
Thank you, team. And moving forward, we will continue to innovate at Buraq as part of the Buraq STEM team, and hopefully we have many more exciting STEM activities lined up in the future, and keep an eye out for our future STEM offerings as part of Buraq. Thank you. This is Ammar Mehdi, STEM leader and head of the Buraq R&D division.
Thank you.
Congratulations, cadets. You are officially Burakians. You have made it through the 19th Buraq Space Camp, and I hope you realize that I am probably the friendliest base commander in the history of Buraq.
Cadets, I promise I wasn't standing with a dagger at the corner of your lecture hall. Maybe I should have. You guys would have had less punctuality issues then.
Cadets, never forget your keys again, please.
Guys, I tried so hard to help you all. I pushed my hair behind my ears in quiz 1, but none of you got it right. I have 9 piercings, but it's okay. I forgive you. You guys are so sweet and so cute. I love talking to you.
Cadets, you should be proud of how far you've come. Because at first, we were all skeptical if you would even make it this far. Nonetheless, you proved us wrong. Congratulations.
Cadets, man, those icebreakers did not taste like toothpaste. Please revamp your taste buds. But seriously, Wing 2, I'm very proud of you for winning.
Wait, Wing 1 won. Come on.
No, man.
It was Wing 1.
Cadets, on a more serious note, I hope you enjoyed all your quizzes. I take full authority of them. And just know that amongst all the squats, the push-ups and the planks, I'm just a chill guy.
And for the last time, cadets,
dismissed!
Dismissed.
Alright, come on, cadets, let's have a round.
around the camp, and let's look at what everybody's up to. This brings back a lot of memories.
1 second.
1 hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later.
Okay.
The civilians. Start. No, can you restart?
But after, it's okay, bro.
Did you see?
Are you gonna put this in the bloopers?
Put what?
This?
Yes.
I couldn't help but fall in love again. No, I couldn't help but fall in love again.
Okay, now it's time for the vote of thanks. Yeah, Nisha? And then we'll move on to the prize distribution.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, thank you, Dr. Iqbal and the ComStech team over here. You have made this camp truly memorable for us, and we love the fact that we got to spend time here at your wonderful facility. Thank you so much. Thank you to my parents, Dr. Shahid Mahmood and Noreen Mahmood, for starting Buraq and giving us this opportunity. And thank you to my husband, Usman Yusuf, for supporting me and allowing me to do this and taking care of the kids while I'm busy. A special thank you to Moiz Amer, our program manager, who works tirelessly with me behind the scenes. Thank you, Colonel Hashmi and the entire interactive team that also works behind the scenes. Icon 7 for their help with all of the media and all of the marketing that we do, as well as all the jackets and everything that was made for you. A special thank you to Shahriyar Khan, our STEM leader, and of course, Ammar Mehdi and his team, Umar Farooq and Fatma Mehdi. Thank you for the tireless work that you have done. I hope that it was a rewarding experience for you. Thank you to the command. I know you worked hard. I know that it's been a long journey, but thank you for all the sleepless nights and all the work that you did. Thank you to Hamza and Harun for making the video. Thank you to the parents for trusting us with your children. I hope we return them to you better, and I hope that our lessons will stay with them for a long time. And lastly, thank you to the cadets for being brave enough to stay with us. I hope you'll keep in touch with us. Thank you so much.
Okay, before we move on to the presentation for the runner-up squads and the best squad and the best wing, I'd like to request Dr. Iqbal and Dr. Shahid to present shields and tokens of our gratitude to those that made the camp possible. I don't think it's safe to see something, but because you don't talk about Okay, starting off with Colonel Hashmi, who was our head of ops and security. If we can please present him. Hashmi Saab, come in the middle. Next, if we can have the program manager, Moiz Amir. If I can request Sayyid Amar Mehdi to come up next. Omar Farooq, Buraq R&D Specialist. Fatma Mehdi, Buraq R&D Specialist. Moving on to the command, Wing Commander 1, Muhammad Dayan Raja. Wing Commander 2, Muhammad Abdullah. Our Officer Commanding Administration, Hamza Ismail. Officer Commanding Personnel, Atia Moin. Officer Commanding Engineering, Isha Segal. OC Flying, Rishit Kumar. And this year's base commander, Hadia Usman. Okay, we move on to the results. So each year at Buraq, as you might have noticed already, we model the camp after the Air Force because it's in fact the Air Force that contributes the astronauts usually. You come from that program and you graduate into the space program. So we typically have a rivalry between Wing 1 and Wing 2. Each wing is made up of 5 squadrons of 5 teams, and that rivalry has had quite a lot of past baggage. So the question is this year, which wing has won? The winner this year is Wing 1, Muhammad. Now, that's not to say that Wing 2 didn't do a great job. One can argue that Wing 2's enthusiasm outweighed Wing 1's, but as a whole, perhaps, Wing 1 has won out. So congratulations, Dayan, but well done, Abdullah. And we come now to the grand finale. The second runners up this year, the squad that usually comes third at the camp, we had an unusual scenario of having a tie. So 2 squads actually had the same score overall in our assessment to the decimal point. And those squads are Squad 4, the civilians, Muhammad Fawaz Ali, Mohib Ahmed, Muhammad Ayan Khan, and Muhammad Momin Khan. And tying with them is squad 2, the Miraji Sapiens, Laiba Ali, Palvasha Shoaib, Gulalai Khan Khail, and Mashal Ali Khwaja. Congratulations. The runner-up squad this year is squad 5. The 67ers, Zayan Asif Jamshed, Sayyid Muhammad Ibrahim Hussain, Muhammad Ibrahim bin Osama, Dawood. This squad had a substantial setback. They had 2 members of the team that left the camp. So each year you have a few cadets that just can't understand what we're offering, or somehow are not able to cope with the challenges of the camp. So 2 from this squad dropped out, but they were replaced very quickly. And despite that substantial setback, the team still came together. And by the end of it, you wouldn't know if this squad had ever had that setback. So credit to all of you. Well done. And the best squad this year may not be what you expected. The best squad is squad 9 Resonance. Can I invite you all on stage? Abdullah Irfan, Waryam Kashif, Mahad Shahzad, and Ibrahim Arshad. Please come on stage. As we come all together, we can just take the picture. And we'd also like to present a special token of our gratitude to OIC COMSTECH, and we'd request Dr. Iqbal to receive this token from Dr. Shahid Mahmood on behalf of the Buraq Planters Society. Thank you all for coming. I think we missed out just one thank you to Mr. Nasir from the OIC COMSTECH admin. We really appreciate all his efforts. We can ask him to come up, just take a picture with the group as well. And that concludes our event of the day. Thank you very much. Please join us for brunch, and let's all celebrate together this wonderful achievement. And okay, we're going to have a group photograph with the dignitaries outside. Can I please request all the cadets to move outside? Parents, please remain seated. Once the cadets have exited, please feel free to exit. Lunch is served, or brunch is served to the right as you exit the hall. Please join us there, but allow the cadets please to move out to take our group photograph.